Yeah, there it is. It's recording. Alyssa, you can go ahead and call the meeting to order if you want to, or if it's okay with everybody, I've asked Alyssa maybe to say a prayer today, since our country's in such a state that we need prayers, I think, and then also for us today and making plans for the organization. And if you all don't mind, we'll just go ahead and let her say the prayer and then call the meeting to order. If that's okay, Alyssa.
That's fine. Dear Heavenly Father, please be with us today as we make decisions on behalf of this organization and all of its members. Please be with our country over the past next few weeks and as we move on in this world, and please be with those who are seeing injustice right now and those who may be sick or unwell. Please be with everyone and just help us come together, and not only come together as a country, but serve you, Lord, and just be with us today. And it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
And Shelby,
Yes.
the meeting will come to order at 10:38.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. The first thing we need to make sure of, we kind of touched on this on Tuesday, but just that everybody knows what committee they're in charge of. You should have looked back at the handbook or figured out what committee you're in charge of, and then start having an idea of those people that you want to serve on your committee and certain ideas that you have for your committee. So does everybody know what committee they are in charge of?
Why don't we go through roll call kind of thing with everybody and let them tell us what their committee is, so we can make sure we're all clear and everybody knows. And that way we'll also make sure to let everybody say something this morning.
Okay, so we'll start with Shelby, first vice.
I do not know what committee I am.
You are the history committee.
Okay.
That's why you got to keep up with everything we do so we can do a better job for the next 75 years, because Miss Ellington's working on it now, and we've got some loops in it, or holes, I guess you'd say. So, and Aaron, while I'm thinking about that, do you have anything like a list of all those Agnes Foster winners or anything like that?
I have most of them. Yes. I mean, I know I have at least the last 3 years that I've done it, because I have all of them saved on my computer. But I also still have all of the president binders. That there's probably a few missing in there, but there is a good amount.
Okay. Well, if you don't care to maybe get that to pull together and send that to Jenny, because she was asking about it and I didn't have any clue, because I don't have anything to do with that at all. So other than providing you with a paperweight, for the present winners. So
yeah, I'll work
if you don't mind. Okay, that'd be great. Okay. Next, Alyssa, what would be?
We have Ashley, community service.
Right. You know what you're
on the community. Yeah, the community service committee.
Right. Okay. Morgan.
I'm the Star Events Task Force Committee.
Right. Or competitive events now we call it, but that's all the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't really do anything but star events at our state, but anyway. All right. Lindsay.
Next is Lindsay.
Good morning. I don't think I've talked to you this morning, but I was just going to say good morning.
All right. Good morning.
I'm on the scholarship committee.
Correct.
Next is individual programs. Grayson.
I'm on the achievement committee, I believe. Is that correct?
That is correct. Good job.
And then Lauren, membership.
I believe I am on the membership committee, which includes honor roll, though.
That's true. Yes.
And then we have Eden with Carly.
The bylaws committee, I believe, is what it's called.
That is what it's called.
And then Jenna, Peer Education.
Programs committee, I believe.
Correct.
And then Bailey with Public Relations.
I do not know what mine is.
It is just Public Relations Committee.
Okay.
Yeah. And you'll get people on yours to help review the newsletter or something maybe, or even maybe write articles for the newsletter, like from their region and stuff, if you wanted to.
Okay. Thank you. Sounds good.
And they can come up with ideas of what they think that maybe the newsletter or the website might need to have as well. So,
Okay.
okay.
Awesome.
Now, since we did roll call, I should have also asked you, did you have a chance to look at what I sent you as far as your names to make sure that they're correct along with your office? Okay.
Yes.
So
ma'am.
I'm good to go ahead and send those off. As advisors, same with you as well. Did you look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure your names were correct. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good then. So I'll get those ordered and I'll try to get them to you as soon as possible, or as whenever we see each other, maybe, hopefully. So, because I still got your pins too to give you that normally the state officers would, and your boxes, as we said, and so all that's still to be delivered so at some point, sometime. Okay, so Alyssa, what's next?
Next, we have our advisory board members. So myself and Lindsay are on the advisory board, but then we need to elect an administrator, a parent, and a business and industry to be on the advisory board as well. So if you have nominations for those, we're going to create a Google form, like as you tell us the nominations. That way it's easy to vote on it. So if anybody would like to share their nominations for any of those three.
Rita, do you want to share basically what they would do on the advisory board before they make decisions?
Yes, I can. The advisory board is what actually helps to govern our organization. They make sure that we do things legal and follow the bylaws, and they are the ones who have the final say before anything is brought before the membership to be voted on. If there's bylaws changes, or they set or make the decision of setting the registrations for state meeting and camp and for the dues, based on your all's recommendation for the most part. Sometimes I don't know that they've ever really gone against what you all have said, but I'm sure there's been times that we might had to make some adjustments to it, just like the budget. A lot of time they always approve the budget, and that's part of their duties. We meet once a year, which is typically in October. And then we invite them to come to the state meeting as well and be a part of that and be our guest. We want somebody that, is knowledgeable of the organization, I think, or has had some contact, at your school or your region or something. And anything else, Shannon, you can think of, or advisors that have served on that committee? Erin Wagner is also on the committee as an alumni member, so she'll be representing the Alumni Associates. So, Erin, you want to say anything?
No, that's pretty much it. Like, we have to just kind of be a voice for the organization, and it has a lot of a lot of voices from a lot of different people. It's not just students, it's not just advisors, it's industry leaders and administrators. So it's a nice comprehensive group of people overlooking what's happening in the organization.
Right. And as you all know, Miss Godby is the state supervisor. her job is the chair of that advisory board. And so she guides them just like, as president or whatever would. And then I'm the secretary of the organization. So I just keep minutes of the organization and work like in that perspective. So we're already part of the advisory board as well. So, all right. So I think we've got first on the list is administrators. So Alyssa, you want to open the floor for nominations for administrator?
Yeah, that's fine. We would like to nominate our principal, Mr. Faulkner, as the administrator. He spent lots of time helping our FCCLA chapter get whatever we need and has helped us with many connections out in the community. He personally helped me a lot preparing for my state office interviews. I did multiple mock interviews with him, and he has a really good background and connection with FCCLA, and I'm sure he would love to help in any way possible. So that's our first nomination.
Don't be shy. Nobody has any other nominations?
Is there any other nominations for an administrator?
Then we'll need a motion to accept, I think. Isn't that right, Eden?
So I move that we elect Mr. Faulkner, principal of Mason County High School, to serve as the administrator on the advisory board.
I second that.
You can't do that, Alyssa. You're president unless you give up your duties to Shelby.
I second that.
Okay, Lindsay seconded. Now you can carry out a vote, Alyssa.
Okay. We're going to vote that Mr. Faulkner be the administrator on the advisory board. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Okay, it has been voted that Mr. Faulkner is the administrator.
By the way, Eden, you did a great job with your motion. You said, I move that, and that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. You don't ever say, I make a motion, so just for the rest of you, so you'll know when you make a motion as well. So, okay.
Okay, next is a parent representative for the advisory board.
I would like to nominate somebody. I would like to nominate Patricia Houchin. That is my mom, but she has been very, very active in my chapter, in my region. She helps out with not just my duties and not just my responsibilities, but my entire chapter. And I've already talked to her about this, and she already likes to rep FCCLA, and she already posts about it on her Facebook, and she's very involved in it like I am. So I would like to nominate Patricia Houchin for the parent representative.
How do you spell her last name?
Houchin.
Okay. Because we have Houchins Industries, and it's ENS, so I didn't know. Houchin then, okay. Okay, is there any other nominations? I know you have lots of good parents out there in your chapters and regions, and
Are there any other nominations for the parent representative?
If not, do I need to go ahead with the motion?
Anybody can make a motion.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay. I move that we elect Patricia Housen, Bailey Hess's mother, to serve as the parent representative on the advisory board.
I second that.
That's been seconded. Let's vote to approve the motion that Bailey Hess's mother, Patricia Houchins, is the parent representative for the advisory board. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Okay, Bailey Hess's mother, Patricia Houchins, will be the parent representative on the advisory board this year. Okay, moving right along to our last election, it will be the business and industry representative. So any nominations for that?
Risa, do you want to explain maybe what you're looking for with business and industry?
It's always good to have somebody in the business industry, like I talked to you all about the other day, of, you know, corporate sponsorship and so forth. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. We'd like to have, you know, people that are in the FCS field if possible, but again, that's not necessarily have to be either. Someone that would be able to have a good idea of the organization, like I said, with the administrators and so forth, and also somebody who has a vision, someone who could, you know, connect us to different ways of doing things, or to give us some possible suggestions that would help to make our organization better, and fundraiser ideas and those kinds of things. So anybody that's supported your region or your chapter, you know, as far as a business that maybe they've already, you know, made donations to your school to assist with going to state meeting, or to you know, sponsor star events or whatever, or maybe they there's a company that sends volunteers even to help judge star events and so forth. So I'm trying to think of some people in the past that we've had on the board. We've had the Cassandra Buchanan from the Egg Council. We've had May Bowers from the Convention Bureau. We've had who else? Kayla, help me out. Who else have we had on the board?
Anybody have like any contacts with like Kroger or like the Beef Council? You know, any kind of anything like extension?
Or like a restaurant, like Texas Roadhouse, or
my stepdad is the state manager for all of the Panera bakeries in Kentucky and a few in Indiana, so I could ask him and talk to him.
all right.
That's the only connection I have to somebody like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, Bailey, what's this person's name?
His name is Craig Houchin.
Greg?
Craig. C-R-A-I-G.
We had the gentleman from Jessamine County, but I can't remember his name, Risa.
Yeah, I was thinking of him too, and I don't know either, and I can't even remember what group he worked with. Some kind of a drink or something, wasn't it? He produced, or
I do think we need to think about organizations that do relate to family and consumer sciences, because sometimes I think when we get these people from other areas, they just don't quite have the same vision or perspective as, and sometimes that's good to have someone totally outside. But I just think there's a bigger appreciation and a greater understanding when they're related somehow to the FCS world.
Have you all had Jason Phelps with Sullivan University?
No, we have not.
He's very active with us. He comes and he's our guest speaker. He also volunteered to judge star events. And then there's Mondana. Oh, I forget
Well,
her
I don't
last
know
name.
that they would be business and industry though, would they, Risa?
Oh
Post-secondary?
yeah, because they're right.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think we really need somebody directly in industry for this spot.
Okay.
But we need their names and to have them on our radar for sure.
Okay.
Do you think that guy from Texas Roadhouse, maybe, Kayla, that was on the culinary, or one of those culinary people, or Stacy Roof, maybe, with the Restaurant Association?
I don't know that I love Stacy. The KRA doesn't have any money, and not that we're going after money here, but I think if we're going to do it, let's ask Mark from Texas Roadhouse, because he's going to have way more access to.
Right, I couldn't think of his name.
His first name is Mark. I can't recall his last name, but I can look that up. I mean, to me, if Bailey's stepdad is interested, I think he's a very good candidate.
I can go on my mom's phone and call him because he's currently at work. So I can see what he says and let you all know.
Okay.
Anybody else have any connections?
I have one idea. I have no clue, kind of like Bailey. This is Cheatwood, by the way. I have no idea if she could do this, but I have Brenda Hagen, who actually owns Crocus Academy. She's kind of one of our contacts because she comes and she does our school Perkins Advisory Council. She also is now the transition coordinator for I believe up at KDE for early childhood. So
yeah, she works for workforce and development.
Yeah, if Bailey's stepdad cannot, I know she has a lot on her plate, but she might be interested because she does help us out a lot with Crocus Academy and all that.
Yeah, she's done a lot of the internship with us, right, Kayla?
A lot of the apprenticeships. Mm-hmm.
Apprenticeship, yeah. Anybody else have anybody? I know there's people in Western Kentucky too, Eden.
Do you have any ideas, Mom?
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
I mean, Kroger's where the money's at. That's who we need. We need somebody to know somebody at Kroger.
I don't know anybody at Kroger.
Or a toilet paper company. They got all the money.
I don't have any big industries around here.
It's always usually takes a while because our brains are dead at camp when we're there, and we can't think through everything and think of anybody. But and typically I would have like cool little snacks for you all to eat, and I'm sorry I didn't have time to get those in the mail to you, but we'll have snacks, and we'd have little goodies like stress balls or something to keep your attention, like Play-Doh or.
Hi, this is Bailey speaking. I just got off the phone with my dad, and he said that he would if you guys haven't found anybody else or if you don't find anybody else. But he said he is interested and he would do it. He also does a lot of marketing for the state too.
Great. So he can help you with your public relations then too, can't he, as far as marketing?
Yes, that's a lot of his job, so.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So, Alyssa, we've got Mark and Brenda and
Hey, bud.
Craig.
Come and get it.
So,
if you want something to eat, come and get it. I'll tell you where stuff is.
okay, where's it at, Angie? We want to know. We're hungry.
It's one of John's friends staying here.
I'm just teasing you. Are we ready to vote or whatever? Or
Make a motion.
yeah, Sarah. I mean, Eden needs to make a motion to vote, I guess, or to, or no, not to vote, but to stop nominations. I guess it is, since we have 2 or 3 here.
So would I need to like bring one before and then we vote? How would
Say
that
again?
How would the motion be worded?
I move that we stop nominations for business and administration.
Okay. I move that we stop nominations for business and administration, or industry, sorry.
I second that.
So,
okay.
Alyssa, you're muted.
How do you want us to vote on these nominations? We have a Google form ready if you want us to put that in it's in the team drive, so everybody can go vote right now in the team drive. It's on a Google.
Do y'all have the link for the team guide?
I don't think I have.
Sure, I know how to do that.
I'm on it.
Why don't you send the link in the chat there, Alyssa, so everybody knows?
It's in the drive. It's in a shared drive that everybody has access to.
Hey, Alyssa. I'm on it right now, and it says that like I need permission.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, now try. Just hit refresh.
Okay.
Can everybody get on now?
Okay, it's good.
Well, just the students who need to be getting on. Advisors can't vote.
I am still not seeing it in my drive.
Yeah, I can't either.
If you go under shared drives, like under your own personal drive, you have to click on shared drives. And then it's listed under 2021 or 2020, 2021 State Executive Council.
This is Grayson, and for some reason, it's not letting me vote. It's like taking me in where I can edit it. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, same with me. I can't vote, but I can edit it.
It worked fine for me.
It worked fine for me.
Yeah, we've got.
Shannon, the same thing's happening for me. Like it's like I'm an editor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it because? Well,
it's because it's in our shared drive.
Could someone text me the link or something? Because I've even looked it up in my Google Drive, and for some reason it's not showing up for me.
Bailey, did you go to shared drives and then gone to the 2021 thing?
Yes, I'm in my shared drive, but I'm not like.
I found the email that Miss Godby sent us a week or two ago. I just went to that email and found it there.
For those of you all that see it as an editing mode, if you click send, you can send it to yourself in an email and you should be able to vote that way.
Okay. So just send it to ourselves then. Oh, that worked. Yeah, just send it to yourself.
Okay.
Does anybody know why sometimes the screen when we're showing has all but 9 people on it, but then sometimes it just has 6 and sometimes it just has 1? Is your all screen doing that or is it just mine?
Mine does that too, yeah.
I think you only get to see it
It's
if
probably, it also could be if they're unmuted.
use their camera, you can't see them.
Gotcha. Okay, has everybody had a chance to vote now? Do we have results, Shannon? Or Miss Godby, can you look at the results?
We're waiting on 2 people.
Okay.
Eden, whenever I get the results, I'm gonna text you a picture of it so you can look at the results before you make the motion. I think we're waiting on 2 more.
Okay.
So I tried sending it to myself and that's not working.
Who is that?
This is Shelby.
Tell Shelby to text you.
Shelby, I'll email it to you. Maybe it'll work.
Okay.
Let me try sending it to you.
Yeah, when Grayson emailed it to me, that's whenever it worked. So that should work for you, Shelby.
Okay.
Shelby, what school are you at?
You don't know me. I'm not the techie, so I have no clue what to tell you.
It's Oldham.
What was it?
So it's shelby.quinlan@stu.oldham.kyschools.us.
How do you spell Oldham? Is it just old?
Oldham.
Okay. Wasn't for sure.
Hey, it's Ashley. Mine's not sending to my email either.
Alright. Ashley, I can send you one too. I'm already on here.
Okay, thank you.
What's your email?
It's stu.fortthomas.kyschools.us.
Okay, that worked. Thank you.
You're Alright, Ashley, I sent it to you. See if that helps.
All right. Okay, that worked.
Okay. So while we're waiting on that, Alyssa, can we go ahead and kind of talk about our community service project, which is Ashley? Have you had a chance to vote before we start talking
Hold on, I
about
have the results right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna send to Eden. Where did it go? I was just like, okay. Eden, it's sending.
You got the results there, Eden?
I haven't received them yet, but I think I can view them since I'm allowed to like edit it or whatever in the shared drive. I think I can get to it. Oh, here it goes. Never mind. Okay. So would I just say, like, I move to elect the person that had the most votes?
I think all you have to say is the results of the of the voting were such and such. I don't think you have to actually move since we had an election of it.
Okay.
So
the results of the vote were 90% for Craig Houchin and 10% for Mark from Texas Roadhouse.
So Craig Houchin.
okay.
So Craig Houchin will serve on the advisory board for business industry.
All right. Sounds good. Well, congratulations to your parents there, Bailey.
Thank you. They're excited.
Good. Okay. So Ashley, go ahead and I sent you some of the list and we talked about some of the community service projects. So you want to tell what you have down on our list and if anybody else has any to add to it?
Yeah, so I came up with 7 organizations that I thought would be a good fit. So the first one is Ray of Sunshine. I was researching them and found on a news interview that was done that their money goes to help keeping like the website up, business cards, travel expenses. But they also, one of their goals is to provide scholarships for students with mental health services majors. And I thought a good idea if we did Ray of Sunshine was to tie it in with our state theme, and the state theme could be Let Your Light Shine, because she also talks about like she has a smile club and the eye is illuminating, I think. That's what I saw. And she always talks about being a light in someone else's life. That was the first one. The second one was the Alzheimer's Association. And then 65% of their funding goes to program activities. The rest goes to administrative and fundraising. And 77% of their annual expenses have went to care, support, research, awareness, and advocacy activities. And we would partner with the Greater Kentucky and Southern Indiana chapter. My third one is the JDRF, which is type 1 diabetes. They also have the Kentucky and Southern Indiana chapter, and their money goes to researching and advocating. The fourth one is the Kentucky Humane Society, which helps animals. They have around $8 million annually. Their donations allow to continue their life-saving work, is what their website said. Raising Cane's is one of their sponsors for their volunteer programs. And they also have a wish list donation, which they take more than money. They take pet supplies, so that could be a cool fundraiser. The fifth one is Donate Life America, which is organ donation. And I know they've partnered with FCCLA before at nationals. There's multiple ways to help them. And their money goes to helping register more donors, which directly increases the numbers of how many lives they save. And they had a partner option. One of them, other ones was Autism Speaks. They have 85 cents of every dollar that they get goes to fundraising programs, service increasing, and the understanding, acceptance, and advanced groundbreaking research, increased childhood screening and interventions. They also have a lot of events that they do, such as like walks or like bike rides. And the last one was called Project Sunshine, and that is where they bring joy to children facing medical challenges, relief to overwhelmed caregivers, and support to under-budgeted hospitals. But the only hospital in Kentucky they go to is the Norris Children's Hospital in Louisville.
Those all sound wonderful. Some of you probably, were you all at camp last year when Miss Talara Schlosser came and presented the Ray of Sunshine? And
yes.
Yes. You know, because her daughter was Taylor Nolan, who was our state vice president of, what was she?
Wasn't she first vice?
I believe she was. Yes, I was going to say that, but I couldn't remember for sure. So, yeah. So those are, that's a good one. And then of course, diabetes is always good, and autism and Alzheimer's. And the only other two that I know something about is that um, Life America, which is adoption of organs, was it? Isn't that what you called it now? And of course, another former state officer was Amelia Brown Wilson, and she was a recipient of I think it was a liver maybe, and she is always been a great spokesperson for that. And then Autism Speaks. Um, Haley Leach was our state president a couple years ago, and her brother has autism, and that's been her platform for a lot of pageants that she does and so forth as well. And then I don't know, I haven't heard anything about Project Sunshine other than the fact that um, my nephew was at Norton's Hospital last weekend, so I know they do a lot of great things, and they have that butterflies for Maddie's exhibit there at Norton. So, um, so it's out there. You all kind of tell what's your favorite, I guess, right?
I would see if there are any other ideas on the floor first before we start selecting.
This is something that we'll do all throughout the year. You know, that's our kind of like we did with sepsis, and we'll do it for 3 years typically, just so that it gives students an opportunity to, and chapters to kind of, you know, the first year they're just kind of understanding what they're supposed to be doing, and then they can grow from it and have some consistency for a while. So. Alyssa, you still with us? I don't see you on my screen, but there you are.
She's typing up the Google form.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is there any other ideas or any questions for Ashley or anybody who might know?
Ashley, I had a question. What was the name of the autism one that you had found?
Autism Speaks.
Autism Speaks.
And I didn't get the diabetes. Was it JC? What'd you call it?
JDRF.
JDRF. Okay.
Also, what was the second one that you mentioned?
That was Alzheimer's, I believe. Yeah, Alzheimer's.
Okay.
You know, think about things that you could do besides just, I know chapters are going to be, like I said, kind of short of funds, I think, this year, you know, with a lot of the parents being out of jobs and so forth. So, you know, like with sepsis, for the most part, that was the key, was to donate funds, which for most of these it probably is too. But there are other activities that you could do with that, and like we had them to do awareness presentations for sepsis to let them know about the signs and so forth, and handed out magnets and things like that for people to know. So, you know, those are some things that you can think about, you know, for those chapters that may not have funds, or their community doesn't have the ability to donate. So we need to think about that. What are some things that we could do to, Ashley, do you know of having suggestions for all of these as to what we could do without, I know I put you on the spot, but.
Yeah. So I'll start with the top of the list. So for Ray of Sunshine, she does a lot of speaking and presentations at different schools. She also has like brand ambassadors, and she has a smile club. at Marion County schools. But with that, I think that if we go out in our community and focus on like elementary and middle school and like informing them about like it's okay to not be okay, and like she does these like summer programs that I saw she did, and she went with like elementary schoolers and focused on their emotions and did stuff with that. Alzheimer's Association, on their website, it had a speaker option, I think, that we could use. Let me find it. But I think that with some of these, it'll be hard to do if we have to do it on a virtual platform.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned about the Humane Society, you know, like, again, that's still kind of a funding, I guess, to donate dog food or cat food and cat litter and stuff. But, you know, they can also volunteer and clean out stalls and stuff like that, I guess, is
Yeah.
part of it, you know. If, like you said, that if we're virtual, I'm not sure how we could do that necessarily, but I'm sure there's creative people out there that are techie.
Yeah.
And then the Life America, that's basically to encourage people to donate on with their license. Is that what that is mostly?
Yeah.
I know that I have a lot to do with Autism Speaks, like just for like my family does. So I know that they have 5Ks and stuff, which once again, if everything's on a virtual platform, I'm not really sure how that would work. But they have 5Ks, and I know I've seen like a lot of guest speakers and seminars and things people go to. And overall, it's just like most of the time, once again, raising awareness and funding for research and treatment for things that come along with some of the things. Like my little cousin has had to have a lot of like occupational therapy and things like that, and it a lot of times can get like really expensive, and you know, we're lucky enough to be able to like afford that, but I know a lot of people don't. So I think that a lot of that is raising funds, but also they have like 5Ks and stuff like that. So I think that like that would also be a viable option.
Of course, with the 5Ks, don't you have to? It's still fundraising, right? Isn't it? Yeah, and getting sponsors or whatever, I guess. But like I think autism sounds a lot like to me like the sepsis, where you're basically telling about the autism and educating others about it and so forth. So,
see, I like
this is
sorry.
You're fine, Lindsay. You're fine.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead or?
Yeah, you're go on.
Okay.
Turn your volume up a little or something. I can't hardly hear you next to your microphone.
Okay, I'll just. Is this good?
Yes.
Okay, I was just gonna say I really like Ray of Sunshine because there's more than just like raising funds for it, and I think it's really important right now, especially during like quarantine, to promote like good mental health, and that's just like something that not a lot of people have done before. You know, we're talking about like physical health and all that stuff, and I think it's more than raising funds. You know, we can just like promote good mental health, and I know for our regional meeting, Laura Schlosser, how you say your name, came and spoke, and a lot of people really enjoyed that. Not necessarily liked the topic, because it's not a very good topic. It's very uncomfortable, but a lot of people enjoyed what she had to say. And I don't know, I like Ray of Sunshine. I have her shirt on right now.
Yeah, you do. I think I have that same shirt. I love it.
Yeah, I love the material.
Mm-hmm.
We at school, we had Ms. Schlosser come speak to as a school-wide assembly, and we brought our middle school over too. And I know that assembly went over very, very well. We sold T-shirts and things like that after the assembly, but there were many students who came up to her after she had finished speaking, just thanking her for being there and thanking her for sharing Taylor's story. And so I think a lot of students were easily touched by that. And then, like Lindsay said, it has a connection directly with FCCLA because Taylor was state officer just a few years ago. And I feel like also, I don't know who is or isn't, but we could all apply to be ambassadors as the State Executive Council. We could all be Ray of Sunshine ambassadors. So we can work in our own regions and in our own chapters and sharing Taylor's story. And I feel like that'll be one of the easier ones to do virtually because we can still share her story and share her presentation, or she can speak online on a virtual platform. I feel like we'll be able to reach a lot of people still, even if it is virtually. And like Lindsay said, during quarantine and during this time where there's so many changes happening, it's very important that mental health is like a top priority. And a lot of students don't prioritize that. So I think getting that message across will be very helpful.
I agree.
I'll have to say she was on line. She did an on live broadcast last night, and I got to in on it with her. And she was talking about they are going to be giving away $10,000 this year of worth of scholarships to mental health students that are going to be majoring in mental health. So that's pretty cool, I think. But
there is one association I would like to give a little bit information on. I do think Ray of Sunshine is a fantastic idea, but I just want to touch on the Alzheimer's Association a little bit more. Alzheimer's Association is nonprofit. You can register online to do fundraisers, so that makes it a little easier virtually. And then this is kind of like sepsis. On their website, on the Alzheimer's Association website, they have like a place that's called Things to Learn, and it's stuff like the 10 signs, facts and figures, and the stages. So those could be things to teach, like sepsis taught us about the stages of sepsis. Right. And so there are things to learn and do, like classes on, or have people come speak and teach for Alzheimer's associations. And there are links to advocate, to participate in virtual events, and to volunteer, not just virtually, but also in person if we get the chance to do in-person things this year, hopefully. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Okay.
Good deal. I'm sure we've all had family members that had Alzheimer's at some point. I've had several anyway in my family.
This is just an idea, not necessarily for any organization, but just a fundraiser idea that like came to mind. Whenever we were talking about the Autism Speak, I know the University of Kentucky does their annual Dance Blue competition where like people pledge and they dance for, I guess it's 24 hours or whatever. And me and Ms. Roberts were just sitting here talking about that. We could do that. Like you could even somehow figure out how to do it on a virtual platform, we think, like where you could share everybody. Somehow we could figure that out. But that just came to mind whenever we were talking about the Autism Speaks. But we could really do that for any organization. And I feel like that'd be a fun, different type of fundraiser that we haven't done in the past. And we could even do that like at our next state leadership conference, or even, I mean, we have 3 years for this community service project. So we could do that either all 3 years or one of the 3 years or something like that.
Be cool. Or if we are able to have a state meeting next year, you know, we normally have a little dance afterwards, and maybe you'd charge $1 or so to come to the dance, and it would go toward the whatever community service project that you choose to do.
I definitely think that we could come up with some interesting and fun ways to interact virtually. And then if we do have our state leadership conference, we could bring what we've done virtually to the state leadership conference to like end it all together.
Yeah,
I agree. And then
sorry, go ahead.
Ms. Roberts said that Anna Solinger, the advisor at Beaumont Middle, that they do a Dance Blue or something like that. So if we needed any more information, we could talk to her. Sorry, go ahead, Bailey.
No, you're fine. You're fine. What I was saying is that with whatever community service project we choose, because of course we are going to have to do it virtually at the beginning, we could start to utilize the Instagram Live and Facebook Live tools, and we could like do a live with whoever we are doing the project with, so they could speak and we could be with them. Because on Instagram Live, you can be, of course, 2 different screens, so we could start to utilize that with whatever we choose.
I do know that Talora, she does a lot of Facebook Lives, and I've watched a couple of them, and she always has like a hidden message in them, and I know she would be willing to do one with us because hers are really cute, and I love to watch them.
I know. That's what I was watching last night. It was she was talking about the moon, and she had Taylor's house that was lit up and stuff in the background, and it was just precious. So yeah. Okay, so we're ready to vote then? Sarah, you want to Sarah, I said that because it's on your screen. Eden, do you want to make a motion that we close the nominations and vote?
Yes, I move that nominations cease for the statewide community service project.
I second that.
Okay, Alyssa, you're muted. Oh. So, Alyssa, you need to accept the motion and the second and say that we're going to vote or whatever by whatever link that you said.
Just pull unmute.
No, you're not now. You're good. No, now you went on mute again. Okay, you're unmuted on our end. Can you talk?
Can you hear us?
Yes, we hear you now. So go ahead.
Okay. So what did you want me to do?
You'll say there's a motion on the floor because you have to vote on the fact that the nomination ceased or whatever. And then you'll have them to go to that link that you're fixing.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor that the nominations will cease for the statewide community service project.
And it's been seconded by Lindsay.
And then I'm working on sending the link right now.
Okay.
Would you rather me do it through the chat or put it in the team drive?
It's up to you all how you want to do it. What's easier for you?
Yeah, whatever's easier, because I can do it either way. Okay, good.
If it was in the chat, I think it would be easier to find for everybody.
That's probably gone.
So you do it over here.
Well, the form's over here, but the chat would have to go through here. Because I don't have it. I emailed you the link. Paste it in the chat.
I got too much open. Let's see, I've got the little rolly ball.
Okay. Let's see.
Thank y'all for taking care of this for us because I don't know what we're doing.
Is it too late for me to vote, chat? Because my email is going from giving me permission to being blocked because our school closes our emails for the summer. So my drive's kind of a mess too, but I've been talking to Randy, who's our tech guy, and I'm just trying to figure it all out. So if you could send me the link in the chat, that would be great.
I don't have the link, so I don't know.
We're having technical difficulties at this second. Okay, we're figuring it.
All right. Drive. Now, who wants it?
It's in the drive. Lauren, you want to email to you?
Cooper.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Can it not be put in the? Can the link not be put in the chat?
I'm having issues with my computer. I can't, it's going to be a few minutes. Lauren, I'm emailing it to you.
Alyssa, the same thing's happening where it says we need permission.
Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry.
Hey, this is Grayson. I just copied the link and put it in the chat for whoever needs it.
Thank you,
Oh,
Grace.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Grayson,
If
even
you
when I
still
click on
can't
that,
get
it
it,
says
let me know and I'll email it to you if you need it.
Okay.
I deal with Google Drive and slides and everything a lot, so I'm kind of
it's just
familiar.
saying I need permission.
Okay.
Refresh, it's good now.
Yeah, we changed it, so you should be able to refresh it. At first, it restricted to only Mason County, but we had to change that, so you should be good now.
It works now. Okay, it works. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I got mine to send
Ashley,
in
you
too.
must be really, really cold. You got your nose and everything.
I've got a blanket on too.
Oh my goodness.
Does anybody need me to send it to him personally?
Grayson, can you send it to Shelby again?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No
You're an
problem.
angel.
No problem. Let me get on there real quick. All right, Shelby, I just sent it. Let me know if it went through.
Okay, I think we're only waiting on 2 more, so we should be good.
It went through.
Fabulous.
Okay, I believe everyone has voted, so I'm going to send the results real quick to Eden.
Oh, that's it.
I still don't have my nails done. I apologize. It looks horrible. Drive me crazy today.
The results are in from the voting for the statewide community service project, with 80% going to Ray of Sunshine and 20% to the Alzheimer's Association. So the new service project will be Ray of Sunshine.
Excellent. Miss Schlosser will be so excited. And I may even actually have her when we come back from lunch to come on and you all can announce to her that you all have chosen that. So she'd be so thrilled, I think, to know that. Because she's, she's looking forward. I mentioned to me before that she would love to be a partner with us. So I think that's exciting. Okay, so we've got that. The Stephen Covey Leadership Pilot. I don't have any more to say about that yet. They still haven't sent me the link, and I've contacted Nationals, and they're supposed to be checking into it for me. So hopefully we'll know something soon, and we can go ahead and get started on that, because I want you all to have the opportunity to go through the 7 habits first. That's the first part of it, and then there's I don't have it in front of me to know, but there's 3 different segments of it, the 7 habits, and then 3 more things, like take the lead or something like that, I think is one of them. So I think they'll help you as far as when we do officer trainings and so forth. There'll be some things in there that you can take and help to do in your workshops or whatever activities we may do. And those may need to be virtual. We don't know yet, like I said, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so the next part, isn't it, Alyssa?
So, Miss Carver.
Yes.
real quick, are these like the Stephen Covey things? Are they like workshops or like just resources, or like is there certain meeting dates and times, or like how exactly?
It's all a pilot, and so I don't really know exactly, but like they're like little segments for you to go
Okay.
through, little workshop kinds of things. It's kind of on your own time, but then we'll come back as a group and discuss things, and like there'll be little worksheets and stuff, or work book kind of thing that you'll have to do, and or keep a journal of things, and we'll discuss those. And I'm not real sure. Like I said, they showed us a little segment of it for when we did a little training ourselves, but I didn't get to go in and actually look at it myself. They were just kind of showing pictures, and it's hard to know what exactly they were saying. But that's why I
Okay.
want to go through it a little bit myself and be able to see, what it is entails. And I think it'll actually end up being kind of like I said, your all program of work will actually work from this. It actually has a program of work, I think. And so you won't actually have to do the little sheet that's in our executive council handbook every time we meet or whatever. So that's the way I kind of took it. And then you'll get like a little certificate saying that you've accomplished this and segment or that worksheet and workshop or whatever. And um, it actually could qualify you to be a certified leader, it says. They said something about. So that's pretty cool. But again, whatever we do, we can't really totally share the information. It's just for you all to go through, just the 10 of you as an officer to review. Because, like, I can't even share my information that I get as the advisor with your advisors, they said, because of it being a pilot. But it is something that maybe later on that your chapters they're looking at, like for next year, could even do part of this at their local chapter levels, and for like $5 a person, they said. So that's kind of cool, you know. But we'll see how that goes. Any other questions about it? Okay. The next and the next on the agenda, the virtual NLC, right? Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So
The first thing we have for the virtual NLC plans is the engagement workbook that I believe you have sent us through our emails.
I did, yes, that's for sure true. So you should have those, and there's a pre meeting, during the meeting, and then a post part of it. So I'd like for you and advisors, I'd like for you to do it as well, if you can. To just go ahead and take a look at the pre part before the July 7th or 8th when the national virtual meeting does occur, and have that available to look at, or to kind of set some goals and things that you want to hopefully get out of that virtual meeting. And then during the meeting, it asks, you want you to keep track of what sessions you go to and what you learn from those. And then as opposed to, what are some suggestions and so forth that I don't have that in front of me right now, but it's pretty set, I think, as far as
I'm working on pulling the workbook up.
Okay, you got it to where you can share your screen or something?
I don't have it where I can share my screen because I'm on a phone and then I'm on my computer right here. But basically it's what you said, like the pre-event, it's just like what are you hoping to gain from the conference, and like 3 experiences that you want to go through, any questions that you might have. And then during the event, it's just basically like you're reflecting on everything you've learned so far, and like how you can contribute to your chapter, the things that you've learned from the virtual NLC, and different things like that. How am I becoming a better leader? And then there's some more about like the red talks and the sessions and things like that. And then for the post-event worksheet, it's basically just like, what were your key takeaways? What did you find effective? Any questions and different things like that. So basically everything you've already said. But those are just some specific things that are in the.
Sounds good. On Thursday of the June 2nd, there's going to be, well, no, that's already happened. We had a national officer candidate for advisors orientation, and then the national officer candidates had an orientation for a virtual meeting. And then June 9th, they have to do their taping of their name and state. And then there's June the 17th. That's when you voting delegates, which includes Alyssa, Ashley, and Eden. And then there's a young lady from Washington County. That's our 4 voting delegates. So you all need to make sure. Have you all received any information about that?
I haven't.
Okay. There's going to be on June the 17th from 3 to 4, an orientation and standing rules for business session. And then the business session will be on June 24th from 3 to 4 that they're going to be taping. So that's something that the voting delegates will need to take a look at. And there are some bylaw changes on that the voting delegates will be voting on. So we will need to take a look at that. And that's at the end of what I've got listed here. But oh, Lindsay got kicked off or something, I guess. All right, Lindsay, you back with us? Hello, Lindsay?
Sorry, my Wi-Fi kicked me off. I was on my
That's
computer,
okay.
but I'm on my
I just
phone
want to
now.
make sure that you're on still, that you're good. So Eden, do you have a copy of those bylaw changes we talked about?
Yes, I have them right here.
And you all should have heard them at the voting or the what was it, the parliamentary procedure webinar. Did all of y'all make it to that? So you want to talk about those, and then we'll go ahead. We'll skip down and just go ahead and make that decision as to what you all want to vote on or not.
Okay. So I'm going to read the rationale and then like the bylaw changes. Sorry. A lot of them are the same. So the rationale for this bylaw amendment to remove the 2 current membership categories of comprehensive and occupational is to unify all FCCLA members and advisors. Having a single membership type will allow all members and advisors equal opportunities within FCCLA, such as in running for national office, competing for scholarships, serving on the board of directors, and more. Essentially, through streamlining membership, there will be no more room for bias as all members and advisors would be treated and represented equally. And 2, to eliminate confusion among FCCLA membership categories and streamline the FCCLA process. The 2 membership affiliation options reportedly created confusion when onboarding new FCS teachers to be FCCLA advisors. In addition, many advisors and members do not know how their state defines the difference between comprehensive and occupational membership. Each state currently defines what is comprehensive and what qualifies as occupational. These differences cause an uneven competitive opportunity for members and advisors. Eliminating the existing membership types would remove conflicting membership interpretations and make all members equal as members. If the proposed bylaws amendment is approved, the following changes will be made to FCCLA bylaws. Article 3, Section 6A, simple strike to comprehensive or occupational. Article 6, Sections 2B, simple strike to comprehensive or occupational. Article 6, Section 3A, simple strike to comprehensive or occupational. Article 6, Section 3C, strike from a category. The final 20 candidates will include at least 2 candidates within a comprehensive family consumer sciences membership and at least 2 candidates with an occupational family and consumer sciences membership, as well as at least 1 candidate from each region to move on to the next round of round robins or other type of session to be replaced with. The final 20 candidates will include at least 1 candidate from each region to move on to the next round of the election process. Article 6, Section 3D, simple strike to occupational candidate, 1 comprehensive candidate, and 1. Article 6, Section 3D. Strike "are" to be replaced with "is" to read, "and one candidate per region is elected to the National Executive Council." Article 7, Section 2A, simple strike 2, of which one shall be a teacher of comprehensive family consumer sciences and one shall be of a teacher of occupational family and consumer sciences. And Article 14, Section 1C, simple strike to comprehensive or occupational. The proposed bylaw amendment will be voted on during the business session at FCCLA's 2020 National Leadership Conference.
Okay, so you know, do any of y'all really understand or have any idea what that means by occupational or comprehensive? I didn't figure you did. No. So basically, years ago, there used to be an FHA and then a HERO section. And the HERO was the home economics related occupations. In other words, they would be geared more toward a specific career. Like today, those students would be like your culinary students, your early childhood, those that are getting like actual co-oping or doing some type of internship or something to that effect. Whereas, you know, like today, we really don't have a lot in our state of Kentucky that do that. So, or a lot of state technical schools that actually have family consumer science in those. So that's the reason that they're wanting to change it to be just strictly an FCCLA chapter. There would no longer be a comprehensive or occupational. Comprehensive is what most of you all are in, where you know you cover all career pathways and you have the basic coursework that like life skills and are not life essentials and um, I can't, you know, just general classes or consumer and family management and that kind of thing. So, so is there any discussion, I guess, Alyssa, for this or any more? Anybody have any questions? I think we can maybe do this by a vote of just aye or nay or whatever, probably, or.
Do we have to vote on it, or is it just the voting delegates that vote on it at the business session?
I want you all to vote on it so that you'll know how to direct the
How to
voting
vote.
delegates to
Okay.
vote.
Okay. So we just do a simple aye or nay vote?
Yes. Typically, we would have done this at camp at the business meeting there. I mean, you all would have discussed it and made your decision, I think. But then at the camp, you know, all the campers would be voting delegates and they would be making the decision as well as to how we vote. So since we don't have that, we'll just go based on if you all represent most of the regions. So, and it's not a deal breaker one way or the other, I don't think, you know, if we have it, but.
Okay. Okay.
I guess, is there a discussion? I mean, what are your all's thoughts, Eden? I mean, as far as, are you all opposed to this bylaw change, or are you for the bylaw change, or, you know?
I know personally, like, I'm for it. I think it'll just clear up a lot of confusion and, like, especially when recruiting new members, like having to explain the comprehensive and occupational, it does get confusing. So I think it'll help, like, kind of just get everybody on the same page, and when recruiting new members, make it like as less confusing as possible.
Right.
So those are my thoughts.
Okay, so then you want to make a motion that we do vote in favor of the national? Okay.
So I move that we vote in favor of the proposed bylaw amendments at the 2020 National Leadership Conference meeting.
Sorry.
No, you're
Who
fine.
was it seconded?
Yes, I second that.
Who is the I?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, okay. So Shelby, are you getting this down so for the minutes, or you're just going to go back through and do this later?
I'm getting it down now.
Okay.
Okay, so that now that the motion has been made and seconded, we'll take a vote. All those in favor that the bylaw amendment, that we approve of the bylaw amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed, please say nay. Okay. It has been voted that we will approve of the bylaw amendment as voting delegates.
Okay, good deal.
Okay, moving back up towards the top of the virtual NLC plans, we have the National 5K Run for Red. I don't know much about that, Ms. Carver, so if you want to talk about that.
It's just an option that you can do. You know, usually they have the Run for Red at National Conference, and you get a T-shirt, and you know you had to pay $25 or $30 for it. This year there's no fee for it, and I don't think they have T-shirts really either. But you can register for it, and actually, or maybe there is no registration. You don't even have to register. They just would like for you to, if you want to do a virtual 5K run, which Miss Godby, are you still on here? She may not be. That is something that we, you know, I don't know how to do, but she did a virtual run. Have any of y'all ever done a virtual run? I think you keep track, or you take pictures of you running or whatever, and show your little Fitbit things, or some way of verifying that you have ran the full 5K or whatever it is. So I just didn't know if you all wanted to try to do that, and we'd set a date and do that whenever, you know, with the state members or whatever, and like you go and run on that specific day or whatever to get your 5K in. I think it's the way it's done. And then we try to take pictures of everybody or whatever, or have them send in pictures to nationals for that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And also, if we do choose to do that with the state and set a date, I can ask people to send in pictures, and I can post them on our Instagram and Facebook and stuff.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so what date do you all want to do that? Do we want to do it in July before the conference, or
Honestly, anytime's fine with me.
I'm good with
I'm good.
I'll be at GSP the June 28th through July 3rd.
Yep.
So, but after that, I'm good with any time.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I forgot to mention that yesterday, the other day. So,
and Miss Carver, I'll be at GSP at the end of July. So I don't know if that really affects it, but
it's yeah, because yours is after that, isn't it?
Mhm.
I think a good date would be July 5th. That's a Sunday, and that's before. That's before virtual.
The national meeting, yes.
And
on July 5th.
Do what?
On July 5th, this is Shelby. I'll be coming back from Florida on that day.
Okay. What about Monday, July 6th?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Monday, July 6th. Can everybody do that? Okay. So I wish we could do it on July 4th, but I think there'd be too much activity going on. So, and everybody wear an FCCLA shirt, and, you know, and do your running or walking. You could walk as well. How many miles is a 5K?
3.1, I think.
Oh,
that's not too bad. It
I
could
know
be
I'll
worse.
be down in Florida during that week. During the week of nationals, I'll be down in Florida. But anything I need to do for that, I can still do down there. So there's no problem with trying to get things done.
You just get to run on the beach, won't you?
Yeah.
How fun. Okay, so do we want to do July 6th? Will that give us time to promote it and stuff? And then also to send pictures to Bailey before the conference on the 8th? Will that work?
I can start making, if we choose July 6th or whatever date we choose after we get off this call, I can start making promotional pictures promoting our date. So
And
we
I
can go
would
ahead and
just
get that
get
out.
things from nationals too, you know, just copy some of that and that they've got, that they're promoting it, and maybe check into it too to make sure that we're correct, that I'm correct on the instructions and stuff. But
okay, I'll look into it more.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember, like, whenever I was filling out the Google form for registering for nationals, you could click like a thing that says sign up for Run for Red, and I clicked that. So is there anything else we need to do with that? Or
I don't think, I mean, I think they wanted you to send in some pictures, maybe that they would do some shout outs for people for that, maybe during the conference. But I haven't heard anything differently. Let me look through my notes to see if there's anything that says specifically on our FCCLA advisors meeting.
Okay.
I have a question. Do we need to make a Google form to put in our Instagram bio and on Facebook for people to fill out that they are going to do the Run for Red?
You could. That'd be good, probably. Then that we'd have an idea as to how many people across our state did it, wouldn't we?
Okay, yeah, I'll write that down.
Okay. I'm not seeing anything specifically about it. No, I don't see anything. Okay. I'll try to do it too and walk 3 miles. I don't know if I can do that or not. Let's pray that it doesn't rain or anything. It's raining here right now. Okay, so Bailey, you're gonna hook us up with that, and then was it Lindsay that said you signed up for it?
Yes.
So you might work with Bailey to try to get make sure that your information that you get or whatever from nationals is included, or let them know what they need to do. Okay, so Bailey and Lindsay. Okay, the other part is the viewing parties. They want to know if we're going to be Miss Gabby, you're back on now. What about the virtual running or whatever? How does that work? You're
sorry, the 5K?
Yes.
You just do it at home?
Whenever you want to do it, or do we need to set a date? We've set the date of July 6th right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I must have not heard the beginning of your question. Can you repeat it one more time?
Just explain like how that takes place, or how you track it, or to not let people know that you're doing it, or, you know, we set a date of July the 6th to do it, Run for the Red or whatever, to kick off kind of our getting ready for national conference. And we're going to have everybody, you know, in the state of Kentucky to maybe do it on that day.
Well, I just think if that's the day we're going to do it, we just need to tell them that that's their day, and we need to have a hashtag. And what would be really awesome, I don't know, so please forgive me. I did not register for the Run for Red. I don't know if they have sent bibs, but they didn't.
No, I don't think so, because there's no charge to do this.
So
they said
I have a
you don't even have
bib.
to register.
I have a bib that I can alter, that we can send out statewide for those who are participating, and so they can use a photo op with it. They can print out their own bib. And I would say we just do a hashtag, and I don't think it needs to be any more complicated than that.
Okay, sounds good. Bailey's going to set up a Google Drive so we can kind of have them to sign up just so we know how many are doing it.
Oh, a Google
Yeah,
form
just to
would be
put like
awesome.
their name. Yeah, just to put like their name and their chapter, and we could just get a good count.
Well, who would be an awesome officer who'd be willing to, if I send you, what would be really cool, Bailey, is if you can get their email address, and then if I can send the bib to one of you guys, and then you could go through and send 001 to Alyssa, 002 to Sally, 003 to John. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, because on the Google form we can there's an option that requires an email address, so we can put that in there.
So do names.
Lindsay said she would help with this. So
yes.
Lindsay, could you do that? Would you have access to be able to change the numbers and email it to them?
Yeah,
Something
I think so.
that might be helpful. I think as they fill out the Google form, it'll tell you like the order they filled it out in. So you could just send out the numbers like in the order that they filled it out in, just to keep it simple so you don't get numbers mixed up.
Okay.
So whoever has access to.
I can definitely give, whenever I make it, Lindsay, we can work on it together if you want, and I can give you access to that. Like I can make you an owner of it as well.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know.
Okay, for sure.
I'll go ahead and create the bib now, and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And also, it might be helpful to make sure you like set a deadline to finish, like to fill out the Google form.
Okay.
That way you're not pressed for time trying to get these bibs sent out.
Okay.
Would June 28th be sufficient, or or July 1 still give you plenty of time?
So we're just emailing them the bibs, right?
Yes, they would have to print it out
Okay.
themselves.
So I think we would need maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks of notice at least. So let me. So maybe the 22nd or 24th of June, or do you think that's too soon?
No, I think that probably would work. The business session is going to be taped on the 24th. So,
okay.
Not that they will know that. I mean, because they won't actually have access to that link to be taped or whatever. But that would be good. I think. So if they have that date in.
Okay, so the deadline to register can be June 24th, Wednesday. Is that good with you, Lindsay, too?
Yes.
Okay.
So awesome. Repeat again, Tuesday, June 24th.
It's Wednesday, June 24th for the deadline to register.
And that way, that'll be kind of after all the star events have been judged and so forth.
And what day are they running?
July the 6th, Monday.
Okay. Yeah, that's plenty of time. Can y'all come up with a fun hashtag?
One that I just thought of.
KY run for red, wasn't it?
Yeah, just one that I thought of that's not like, it's not too fun, but it's just a start. It's hashtag run for red KY 2020.
I think that'll work.
Something along those lines. We can change it or.
Only thing I think I would change is I would put on their KY FCCLA just so that they know.
Okay.
I mean, in some way that people would know that is FCCLA still, because a lot of them wouldn't know what Run for Red would be if they see it on their. Yes, it's going to be on their things too, right? For their.
Gotcha.
Whatever. While I'm thinking of this, I talked to you all about that we're going to have to tape our state meeting. And I know that's not on the list, I don't think. Here, is it? No. Yeah, they're a taping of the recognition. What if we did that on June 24th after the business session or before the business session? That morning of June 24th. Because those of you that are voting delegates will have to be in your official dress anyway. Will that suit everybody? If we have a list of the winners by then. Can we put that down as a tentative? the morning of June 24th. Let's say 10:30 again. Will that work?
So what exactly would we be doing on the morning of?
Okay, that morning, it's going to be like a lot of you said though you hadn't been to a national meeting, but we have state meetings during national meeting, and so as part of that state meeting, we typically used to recognize the Star Events participants just for participating, and we'd have games for them to play and so forth, and give them the information about national meeting. But since this year we're not going to be there to do that, we will actually do a virtual taping of that and introduce all of you as your state officers, and then we will need Morgan as the VP of Star Events to kick off with telling a little bit about how many total participants we have that competed at nationals, and explaining to them the gold, silver, and bronze, telling about the scoring of that, and then we divide up each of those events, like, I don't know, let's say A through C or something like that, or all the A events maybe Shelby did, and then B through, I don't know, C or D or whatever, then Bailey would do. So just divide them up, and you would just basically, we'd have a slideshow, and you just read off what the slideshow says, which would be the students, this event, what level it was, and then the student school and their names from the teams, and then tell whether they got gold, silver, or bronze. So does that work, you think?
I think that
Okay.
works. Yeah.
Okay. Because there's, nobody's going to be seen other than you all, because we won't have those participants to be able, because they're not supposed to know what they got until the actual conference in July. So we won't be able to say, although, is it Morgan and who else is going to be competing in national Star Events? Alyssa, are you in a group, right, for Star Events this year?
Yeah, I have a Star. Yeah.
Is it Morgan and Alyssa and who else?
Ashley.
I'm competing too.
Ashley, okay. So there's 3 of you. So you all might not get to be a part of it and tell, since you're going to be actual participants. But anyway, we won't let you introduce yourselves anyway. We'll make sure your event's not one that you're covering or doing. So and then if there's other things that we have an hour, I think it is, to do this in. So if there's other things that you all think that we might want to do while we're there, or to, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool, I thought, maybe if we could do like some kind of not confetti, but those little blower things. They don't make a noise, but they blow out. You know what I'm talking about? Or you all think of something like to congratulate, like after you do each category, then the other officers could go, to, like, as they're congratulating them or something, to make it entertaining. What are your all's thoughts? Y'all are more creative than I am, but have any ideas?
I like those ideas.
Yeah,
I like the ones you said.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really cute. We can like clap for them and cheer them on and stuff.
Have clappers. Yeah, that'd be cute, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's think. Do any of y'all have clappers, or those balloon things or blowing things? I don't know. What are they called? What am I saying?
You can get them at the Dollar Tree, I'm pretty sure, like the confetti blower thing. Well, not the confetti, but like those blower things. I think you can get them at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General.
Yeah, are they just called blowers, I guess? Yeah, that's it, Miss Godby.
Yeah.
What is it called, Miss Godby?
I don't know.
We need some red ones, though.
Well, this came from the Dollar Tree, and it came in a pack of 6, I think, 6 or 8.
Okay. So, is that something that maybe you all could purchase at the Dollar Trees yourselves? Because it shouldn't be more than $1 or $2. Because I would purchase them and send them to you, but I'm afraid they wouldn't mail very well. They might kind of get squished.
Yeah, I could buy my own.
I mailed them to the
Yeah,
Say
I'm good
Yes
with
Kids.
that.
Oh, did you? Yeah, but you had other stuff in there with it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think they can get those.
Yeah. This is just a question about
you are,
servants in general.
Alyssa, I can't.
Other participants, like from that. Can you hear me?
We didn't hear a word said. It was all gooberish. You were like slow motion.
Now?
A little bit better, yes.
Okay. This is just like a question. Are these participants like going to receive like their gold, silver, bronze, like medals or whatever in the mail?
I think so. I'm not sure. Nobody's asked that or answered that question for us. But you will from the state anyway. Everybody gets a medal for star events from the state. So, but we haven't had opportunity to get back into the office to get those and to hand them out or whatever, or smell them out. So.
And then like also, I don't know if this is too much or like if we want to do this or not, but like on behalf of like the executive council, we could send like a congratulations letter or even just like an congratulating star events or even participants who just participated, but that's up to you all.
Yeah, that's true. If you all wanted to put together a letter some way, then we can. And speaking of which, I if you want to put it together, and then I can just have it one letter from all of your team or all the executive council team, and then which that would be Shelby that usually writes letters and thank yous and stuff. She could write it on your behalf or whatever, and then I'll send it out to their advisors. I don't think I have individual emails to them, but yet the advisors could share it to their participants to congratulate them or wish them good luck if you wanted to beforehand. Of course, that's just next week, so probably just congratulate them for making it to nationals, I guess. But what I would like for you all to do this week, or by next week, is to send good luck, all of you, to Logan and to Hannah for national officer candidate. And I have their email here somewhere. I'll get that information to you, what their addresses are, and send that to you after we get back from lunch or whatever. So, you don't have to all get the blowers. You can get whatever other party things that you want to do. That's just one suggestion. Just like I said, go to Dollar Tree or something real cheap and pick you up something so you'll have for that June 24th at 10:30 to tape for the winners. Does that work? To make it fun.
Yes.
I've got it written. Okay. The other thing is the viewing party, which we'll still talk about when we get back more, or kicking off of the national conference or the school year. We talked about bingo and scavenger hunt. Those were some suggestions that national advisors webinar they had told us to keep students engaged and get them excited for things. So, and then like we already talked about, Bailey, he did about doing a countdown kind of thing to let them know, like there's so many days left till national conference or whatever, and virtual conference, and that they could still, register or whatever. What are your all's thoughts about that? We'll talk about later. We've got the national 5K done, right? Okay, anything else?
I have a question about the official dress for the voting delegates. Will we have our ascots by then?
Good question. I don't think you'll have to have them, but I doubt that you will have them by then because of the fact that they're still with the former officers and I don't have contact with them to be able to get them to you. I think as long as you have your blazers and your white shirts underneath, you'll be fine.
Could we maybe do black dress and pearls if everybody had that who was a voting delegate? Or do we need to do the shirt and the skirt?
Well, you have to have the red blazer, I know, in order to be a voting delegate. And I'm not sure if they've allowed us. Let me check on that to see. If they're letting the black dresses be part of that.
Okay. If
Do
not,
all
that's
of you
okay.
have a black dress?
I do.
I do.
I do
Does
too.
anybody
I haven't
not
asked
have a
about it.
black dress. What, Alyssa?
I said I have a black dress, but I have an ascot as well, so either option's fine with me.
Okay. Does anybody not have a black dress? Okay. So we could maybe do that then. If let me check to make sure that they do want them to have a black dress and the for the business meeting. I don't remember them saying when you all did the orientation what you would need to wear, did they? Okay.
They might tell us more at our official orientation on the 17th too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I don't think there was anything either in my notes. I'll just email somebody to see from Nationals to verify that and see what we can come up with. I know
If
y'all.
we have, oh, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I know y'all are probably getting hungry. It's getting lunchtime, isn't it? I'm getting a headache. Go ahead, Eden. What was you gonna say?
If we have to wear the shirt and the skirt, that's okay. I was just curious if that was an option.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter to me.
We'll see. Does everybody have pearls too?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll see what we can do and about that, and I'll get back with you. And I also need to check to make sure that the student from Washington County also would have that as well as a voting delegate to be able to wear that. So, but you all might wear that then for the taping of the Star Events thing on that morning of. So that wouldn't affect her if that's the case. Okay. Any other questions so far?
I have something to bring up about a fundraiser, but I can wait until after lunch. Or
okay.
Do it. I can
We'll
wait.
add that to the agenda.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Miss Carver,
Yes.
this is Shelby, and I also wanted to let you know that I'm also competing in Star Events for national.
Yeah. I forgot. Sorry. So there's 5 of you then in competing for nationals, right? I think. Something like that. Anyway, okay. We won't make you do your event though. That's what I'm saying. Just make sure that we don't assign you your event to announce the winners. Alyssa,
Okay.
did you have something?
No, you're good.
Okay. Thought you raised your hand.
Oh no, I was thinking there was 4 people for Starbucks, but that's
Well, and then Shelby is the 5th one, I thought, but okay. I don't know. All right. So, did y'all brown bag your lunches today, or y'all gonna need to go off and then go eat?
I think I need to go off and eat. I didn't do that.
Me too.
Okay. So let's just be back here. Can you eat within 30 minutes or do you want an hour?
I'm fine with 30.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And maybe we can get done and not have to meet on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so let's be back at 1 o'clock for lunch. It's the same link as you have right now, so you won't have to, you just kind of click back on where, from the link that you did have, and that should get us on here. And I'm going to stop taping then, or recording at this time.